driving me insane. Choose a lane that you're gonna drive before I run you off the road and leave you dead. Oh, Lord. Road rage, flashing my eye. Road rage, it's burning like a fire. Road rage, like a nightmare. I'm dreaming. Road rage, I keep on screaming. What you gonna do? I guess they didn't put signals on the Malibu. Cut me off, you son of a bitch. I hope you wind up somewhere in the ditch. Why the hell would you get on my ass? I go around your grandma, but there's nowhere to pass. Road rage, it's burning like a fire. Road rage, the flames are growing high. Road rage, like a nightmare, I'm dreaming. Road rage, I keep on screaming. No looking, you're booking, phone texting, we're vexing, ain't stopping, my brain is popping, brain checking, I'm wrecking, I don't really care if you go or stay, but get your ass in gear or get the hell out of my way. Road rage, blasting my eye. Road rage, it's burning like a fire. Road rage, like a nightmare, I'm dreaming. Road rage, keep on screaming. Road rage, road rage, talking about my road rage. Hater, my motherfucking road rage.
Ow! Turn that off. Episode 138, Stl Roar, mycitymymusic.com. Blackie Starks in the house.
Motherfucking road rage! I get that every goddamn day.
Everybody does. Everybody's got road rage, I think. If we just had our own lanes, it'd be all right.
If they would stop camping and say, okay, here, so I'm sure you've driven on 70, rush hour.
Yes.
It turns into this racetrack like Indy cars, Formula One,
it's
just zipping in and
ridiculous.
out of traffic
Yes.
at 130 miles an hour. You know why that happens?
Why does that
Because
happen?
people camp in the left lane and they won't get the fuck out of the way. So everybody coming up behind them starts looking at all the cracks and they start going, I can go here, I can go here, I can go here.
I know.
If they would just get over and let people do the thing, it wouldn't happen.
Reminds me of those damn crotch rockets.
Psh, damn crotch rockets.
Yeah. I can't stand those things.
Uh-huh.
Get a real bike, man.
I got a real bike. I got 3. What now?
Oh, I can't stand those stupid bikes. They're just ridiculous. I mean, they're practically standing on end, and I mean, they're just dangerous as hell. Everybody who rides them, they just think they're in a movie or something. I'm like,
They're-
you are going to get clipped one of these days.
Have you ever seen Sons of Anarchy?
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever seen Sons of Anarchy? Really? You want to talk about
Are
that?
you kidding me? I love that movie. I
Let's
love
talk
that
about
show.
people riding bikes like they think they're in a movie.
Yeah, well, you know, they're
Come on!
at least they're real Harleys, for fuck's sake.
Which part of it? Because 40% of that's made in China.
Don't rain on my parade. God. Let me have my fantasy, man.
Right.
I just want Jax for one night.
You started this.
Oh, I just hate that. That traffic is just annoying. I just can't stand it. Oh, I'm the world's worst.
Why do you think I stay home?
I wish I could. I'm glad I get to work from home 2 days a week. It's amazing. But anyway, so Blackie Starks is here to talk about all things Chillacamino.
So, I came in here a few months back
Chillacamino.
with guys that I started a cover band with. You know, people have lives. Their heart's not in it, and they were just like, "We'll do the cover band. We're not really fired up by doing original stuff because we have way too much stuff going on." That's cool. In the interim, I got hooked up with a buddy who was actually supposed to be here tonight. I don't know if he's going to show up or not. He's responsible for movie soundtracks. He's actually doing a Rob Schneider film down in Cape Girardeau right now. He was going to try and come up for tonight's show.
That's what's his name?
Rob
Yes,
Evans. So
Rob.
I did some work for him, unbeknownst to me, that he actually worked out of Hollywood and actually had credentials.
Yes, he has
And
credentials.
He's like, yeah, just look it up on IMDb. And I was like, okay, all right. So he's like, just give me the music and everything. And this is I'll start putting in the soundtrack so you can start making some residuals and quit your day job.
Well, I met him a few years back. I don't remember where or whatever, but It was like I met him. I don't remember what event it was, but then I ran into him at in Granite City at the
thing that we did out there was
thing you did
when what's her name, Bonnie Bramlett came out.
when Bonnie Bramlett came out, and so he's gonna call that place the Mill.
Yeah.
Is it gonna happen?
I don't know. We keep trying to get in there, and we were trying to audition drummers in there, and he said, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, and it's going to jump through hoops to get it open. Don't worry about it, man.
So is he not gonna? It's not open yet.
It's not open yet. It was supposed to be open by June, but I don't think it's going to
He
happen.
told me it was gonna be March, and we'll talk about what we talked about.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, Mayor, we're not talking bad about you, but yeah, we're gonna talk about you behind your back.
Get your calendar up to date, sir.
Oh, it's just Mike. It's just the way he is. I mean, you know, he's got a good heart. His heart's in the right place, and he's got a good idea. He's just got a lot of players involved, and you know.
Timing never works the way we want it to.
No, especially when you are not footing the bill. So he's got to deal with a whole bunch of other schedules and all kinds of other stuff that's going on. So I told him, I said, I don't think I would have named the place the Mill, though, not considering they're shutting that down.
All right.
You know, but
Yeah, it's kind of a bite in the face.
it is. It's kind of a kick in the face, definitely for sure. But you know, it's still a cool venue.
It's going to be cool if they ever get it up and rolling. If they ever get that thing up and rolling, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
They asked us to come out, in case anybody's wondering. They asked, we got asked personally to come out, be the very first band on that stage to basically stretch the legs out on the sound system. That was so.
And it was amazing.
And then Bonnie Bramlett from, she was an ICAT. She was married to David Crosby for 45 years. She was on Roseanne. She came out and actually did a song with us. So,
Yeah. She said she'll do my show.
Cool.
She did call me, and I have not called her back, but
Slack
she's
ass.
like, oh, I don't always answer. Yeah, I am a slack ass. I know it's terrible, but
But you're my slack ass.
that's okay. I'll get there eventually. But yeah, she said she would do it. I said, are you sure? She's got killer stories. I mean, she's amazing.
I tell you what, at first she was a little reserved, and then all of a sudden towards the end of the song she bit into it, and I went, holy shit!
Well, when she was
She's like 80 something.
well, when she was what the hell does that mean?
I'm saying.
I'm closer to that
I'm
than
saying
you are.
singers,
Shut your mouth.
I'm saying singers don't usually have voices that last that long.
Oh, she's
When
amazing.
you're rough on yourself,
well,
like this guy.
She was worried about not, of course she hadn't rehearsed, and she was worried about stepping on your toes and not knowing what you're gonna sing and what else. I said, just do it. I said, Blackie's very understanding. I mean, if he shoves you off the stage, you're gonna get up and you're gonna punch him in the face. That's what's gonna happen. She said, oh no. I said, I'm kidding, he wouldn't do that. I said, just go up there and do it. I said, just be yourself. That's all you gotta do, you know, because that's what we want. We expect you to be yourself.
Right.
And she's like, well, you know, but I knew, I said, the minute you step on that stage, it's going to come. I know it is. And it did, because she's great. She's a total pro.
I'll tell you what, I worked at A&R for a record label for a while, label out of Atlanta with Mike Froese from BLS. I've always had this weird knack that when I hear something that I know is going to be good, the hair in my arms stand up. I don't get that very often from people when on stage. I did that night. Like when she bit into it, all of a sudden my whole body went, holy shit.
I know.
Was cool.
She's got the range. She definitely is it. It's just one thing you just don't lose that. You don't
Right.
forget that. I think the musicians, they definitely last longer than athletes, you
Right.
know, in regards to talent, because they just don't. Randy Jackson is a good example.
I mean, Keith
He's
Richards.
Randy is his voice does not falter at all. You know what? I'm so sick of you already. I'm gonna throw this at you. His voice does not falter. How old is Randy? Is 67, 68.
Yeah, he's up there.
And now his drummer is 72. When they played here last, I said, you gonna stay out on tour? It's up to the drummer. He's the oldest. But oh my God, those guys were so fun. They were a blast. But yeah, I mean, he did a show when he was here. In 2015? Did a show at the Wiley, and then went next door to Laurie's place and did a 2-hour acoustic.
That's cool.
His voice didn't falter at all, and he's got a great range.
We were down in Nashville on tour, and we decided to go into Tootsie's, the big famous country bar down there. And if you've ever been down there, it's a little shotgun stage about the size of this table, and you have to stand in front of each other instead of this way.
Right.
So you got drummer, bass player, guitar player, and singer. It literally is about the size of this table, and Dierks Bentley was up there singing. And so they took a break, and we got to talk to the guys. Turned out the bass player was Alan Jackson's bass player.
It's very cool.
And one of the nicest guys you ever met, just on that little stage.
Awesome. The country guys are so real. I mean, they're just so down to earth. I got a great Dirk Bentley story. I was working the show at the amphitheater, and this was when it was a real bad storm. It stormed so bad, so fast, the backstage flooded, and so they had to get everybody up. When the lightning hit, everybody gets off the stage because we don't need fried rock stars, right? Anyway, so there was
fried from the 70s.
I know. They are. This is the country guys. These are the country guys. So, Dirk Bentley and his
You know
main
that,
guy. There's a VIP stage behind the bar over there, and so he was doing an acoustic show for anybody who wanted to listen to him just until the storm let up. Well, after they got done with the show and everybody pulls out, everybody starts leaving. Everybody's gone. I'm like one of the last people there after we're shutting the doors and, you know, the trucks are gone. Here he comes out of nowhere. He said, "Where is everybody?" I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Your trucks left a long time ago." He said, "What the fuck?" And he gets on the phone. He starts screaming. He said, "Motherfuckers, I'm getting on a plane. Don't wait for me." I said, "I'll catch up with you in Nashville." And he's like, I said, "Who the fuck leaves the main star behind?" I said, "What were you doing?" And he's
Yo,
You
like,
should have been like, I'll drive you.
I
Did
wanted
Murphy ever tell
to.
you a story? He got left when he was with Head East. He got left because he was hanging around with some girls.
No, not the
Of
girls.
course.
Not some girls.
He missed bus call in Houston and missed 3 shows and ended up catching a plane all over to Florida.
Not Jim. Never Jim.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Who would do such a thing?
No,
Those darn
Murphy.
girls. Murphy. Idiot.
He's got a funny Jenny McCarthy story too. I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell that one.
I think that one should come from the horse's
Yeah.
mouth.
Yes, definitely.
Let's just put it this way. She did the deed. He left her on the side of the road for 6 blocks. She had to walk to the show in heels. She wasn't happy.
I'm surprised she didn't take one of those heels and stick it right in his eye. I mean,
Yellowstone.
I mean, shit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If any of us can handle the landing in heels,
Yeah.
Should be
bar
fine.
to bar to bar to bar.
that's
exactly.
right.
She'll be fine. Her princess blood, it ain't gonna kill her.
Right.
She's not dead yet.
Exactly. It'll be
Not
fine.
from that anyway.
No, hell no.
So,
So anyway.
this band Chillacamino, I decided to. Rob's like, put something together for me, get me some music, and don't limit yourself, don't pigeonhole yourself. I want everything, because he says I listen to your solo acoustic stuff, and you're all over the board, which is awesome because that's gonna kind of like what Kid Rock did. He just went all over the board and made $1 million overnight. He was on every single genre radio station around the country, and he said that's how you want to do it.
Not
That's where you're gonna go.
overnight. His first album was Grit Sandwiches.
Well, I'm
I
talking
think
about.
I was the only one who bought it.
when Bob, I was working in radio.
Grit Sandwiches, no shit. Kid Rock's first album.
I worked in radio when Ball to Ball came out, and then all of a sudden he just exploded and he started crossing over all these different genres. And I was like, holy shit, he's on pop station, holy shit, he's on rap station, he's on country station. What the hell? Smart. So that's what we're gonna do. I want to take this. I'm assembling a bunch of writers in town.
It's either Craig or Stump.
It's not limited to just like a 4 or 5 piece band. I've got a bunch of people involved. We're gonna put some stuff out, and then I'm gonna hire a radio promoter and then form a band around that if we do anything big. I don't want to play bars. I'm tired of playing bars. I've chased enough bars around St. Louis for the rest of my life.
I know. Well, I mean, if you put a showcase together, it's not so bad. You know, if
I've got some good players. When we put this together, I've been talking to Josh Hensley out of Chicago with Steve Ramone. Chip had even offered to come out and do some stuff for us. So I've got some good players that want to get out and do stuff. But the first thing I want to do is I want to get some good solid set of songs done, recorded, throw those to the soundtracks and see what happens.
is Chip still doing his radio show?
I think so. I think they're on tour right now.
Are they?
I think so. I think were they in Europe? They went to Europe for a little while.
What, Chip? My Chip?
Yeah.
Our Chip?
Our Chip. Everybody's Chip.
Everybody's Chip.
Oh, there's plenty of chips to go.
That's
around.
why it's Chip's enough.
That chip's been dipped in milk so
Yeah.
much, half the cup's full.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Our Chip's enough.
Exactly. Jesus. What a character.
So that's what's going on with this. I'm going through a list of musicians right now, checking them out.
What?
Huh?
You've already burned through your musicians?
No. I'm checking people out to see if they're going to be the right fit for what I'm trying to write. In other words, if you go to Nashville, you don't hire John Petrucci to play on a Lyle Lovett record. You know what I'm saying?
Depends on how good they are. Well, there's quite a few out there.
I got a couple. I actually talked to a guy today that Ryan Campbell turned me on to named Clay Lassiter. Holy shit, that guy's guitar's playing is amazing.
Now there's a guy out there who does not play out. He's very low key. Chris Nacarado,
Yeah.
legend. He just changed his profile picture, and he's one of the most quietest, shyest guys. But give him a guitar, man, he'll shred it all day long. He's amazing. And I know he's not playing out with anybody. I know he fills in once in a while, but it's something to think about. I know he does a lot of work on different albums and stuff.
You remember Austin Caldwell I brought in here?
Uh-huh.
He's going to play in the band. He's going to do some writing with us and play out live with us. So this guy Clay sent me a bunch of links of stuff that he's done, and it's the first thing he sent me. I sent him a text message, and I said, "Shit, we're going to write an Alter Bridge record because it sounded like Alter Bridge." And then one of the last things he sent me, it sounded. I started going over lyrics and melody in my head, listening to it just to see how easy it would be to write to, and right off the bat, it just fell right in line, and it kind of sounded like Seether, some of Seether's new stuff. I was like, I can get on board with this, so
Definitely.
I'm excited about that.
It's time for you to get in the studio and do some vinyl. You got to do at least one vinyl before I kill you.
So
or
as
you
I-
die, whichever comes first.
As you mentioned that,
Because
my bass player, Mike Hackthall, didn't tell me for months, not even years, he's got a recording studio. Right up the street from his house. I said, what do you mean you got a recording studio? He goes, yeah, full-blown recording studio. I said, fuck off.
At his dad's house.
He goes, no, I'm serious. We can go up there and record anytime you want. What the fuck, dude?
well, when was he going to announce that?
You know.
But he was too busy listening to you and working with you and doing all your stuff.
So I guess
That's good.
at least we can do pre-production stuff there. I mean, you need a good producer to put a good sound out.
Well, there's always Steve out in St. Peter's too.
Steve who?
Steve, I just forgot his last name.
I don't know.
There's a lot of Steves and St. Peters.
Yes, no, hang on. He'll be on here in a minute. Oh, gosh, who's on here? Oh my gosh, Scott Morris is watching.
Hey, Scotty.
Scott was just out on tour with Eric.
Eric Martin.
Martin.
Mr. Big.
He's been his guitar tech for a little while now.
Your man says hi, Joel.
Which one?
Oh, shut up.
Scott
was
Morris
not
says
funny.
everybody's chip.
Hey!
Scott Morris says everybody's chip.
Yeah.
Steve Schindler.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, sweetheart.
Steve Schindler. I told him to get down here. Get your hair did, G. Come on down, man.
So I've got a bunch of stuff I just sent you.
Okay.
I'm not practiced enough to play it live right now, but
Yeah.
it's just me and an acoustic on there. If you
Yeah.
want to play in it, you're more than welcome to. Usually what I'll do is I'll just start rapping shit out, just throw it out on the recording and move on to the next one. And then come back and whatever works, I'll start studying it.
He got real big. He's not supposed to grow. Did you write any more songs? What? Last time he was here, he sang one of his songs.
He's been into science and engineering here lately, so he's all about trying to figure out robotics and how things go together. And
Do it.
I was like,
Boeing
let's
is
do it.
always hiring.
Yep.
What you want to do, baby? What
Yeah.
you want to learn? I will figure it out.
Okay, let's hear a song, Blackie. Pick something.
You still in the
You
way.
know you got to play Britney at least once, because I
Yeah.
brag about that all the time. I love
Do this
it.
one first, and then I'll
I
come
love
back.
it.
What was that one that you had the words to at work and you were telling me about them? Was that in the making?
There's
There you
about
are.
3,000
See, you're
lyrics
on
in there.
camera. Oh, there's your
all day I'm
brother.
just writing lyrics.
Okay.
Still
This
in the way.
goddamn forklift.
Is that the song, this goddamn forklift?
I left some words unspoken. I have something more to say to you. Yesterday was yesterday, never come back new. These are the things that I'm growing down. This is the way that you're taking down. I'll be the stone, you'll be the wave. I won't swim and you won't save me. I'll look ahead, you bring the past. All that we've done just comes rushing back in. never coming around and finding you. Tomorrow was a promise, I never have regrets, because the tragedy we lived through meant that I was never next to you. These are the things that I'm growing in. This is the way that you're bringing down. I'll be the stone and you'll be the wave. I won't swim and you won't save me. I'll look ahead, you'll be the past. All that we've done just comes rushing back in. Everything yesterday was yesterday. We were stolen away. I'll be the stone, you be the wave. I won't swim and you won't save me. I'll look ahead, you bring the past. All that we've done just comes rushing back in. I'll be the stone, you be the wave. I won't swim and you won't save me. I'll look ahead, you bring the past. All that we've done just comes rushing back in. Stand on the shore next to me. Stand on the shore next to me. Stand on the shore. We are the stone on the wave. We are the stone on the wave.
Woo! Yeah! Awesome. Awesome.
Alright.
All right.
Some shots, man.
Well, there's some American honey in there.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Let me help you.
We went to see Bert Kreischer Saturday night.
Do one.
You did what?
We saw Bert Kreischer Saturday night.
You too.
You know who that is?
Who?
I am the machine.
Oh man.
Oh,
How was
it's
it?
You want one?
Was it good?
Hilarious.
No.
Best concert I've seen in years.
Really? Where was that at?
Enterprise.
Put mine in a little ice thing.
I have not laughed that hard in 20 years. It was good.
Well, the idiots from the Jokers are going to be here in July, but it's only 3 of them because what's his name? He jumped out of the show. He's on tour doing his own thing. She's got to dig around for it.
All right.
That's okay. It's all good.
Uh-oh. What did you do? Did you forget it?
There should be an American honey in there too. I just had a bunch of them thrown around. He can have. I'm not eating them. He can have both. No.
I don't want the fireball.
Heartburn. Oh, I can't take it.
I'm not 19 anymore.
Well, me.
Cheers. Here's to working
Well, you wake up
working
next day and
tomorrow.
oh, yes.
Me and Tweezy got drunk on that one night here.
I believe that.
I mean, hammered. Who brought
So-
that? It was me and you, and I don't remember who. We just kept drinking that shit.
Let me tell you how much I used to drink.
Was that the first time you had it?
Woo.
I don't remember, but it was like, oh
American
man,
honey?
little bitty shots, 85 of them.
Only 72.
I mean,
I
try.
that game.
When I was in Isaac James, we used to drink that big bottle.
Yeah.
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 Put that
Well,
shit
you can
away.
go. I can go across the street and get a bottle while on break. I'll run over there and get a bottle from the bar. They'll sell me one. So it's all good.
All right.
They will.
So, Britney song, huh?
Sure, let's hear a Britney song.
For those of you who don't know what this is, this started out as a joke at a jam session in Kansas City about 20 years ago. My buddies, every week we would come up with something really stupid.
It's freaking amazing.
And
love this.
they did Poker Face on acoustic. They took all the pop stuff out of it and just made it a really cool pop song or acoustic song. So I went back to the house that week and I came up with this one. and somehow it just exploded. It made it on TV, and both it was asked for in Des Moines, in New York, Chicago. It started going all over the place.
I know, it's great. I mean, you had your full band playing. Well, I was at let's see, Tom Ekman and John Shanahan were doing an acoustic thing at in Grafton, and I love Metallica, Enter Sandman. They did it on freaking acoustic. Nobody's ever done that. It was freaking amazing. I mean, I said, okay, do it. They did it. I was like, holy shit.
Baby, how was I supposed to know something wasn't right here? Oh, pretty baby, I shouldn't have let you go. Now you're out of sight here. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, cause I need to know now. It's because my loneliness is killing me. I must confess, I still believe when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Help me, baby, one more time. Oh, pretty baby, the reason I breathe is you. Girl, you got me blinded. Oh, pretty baby, there's nothing that I wouldn't do. It's not the way I planned it. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, cause I need to know now. It's because my loneliness is killing me. I must confess, I still believe when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Tell me, baby, one more time. Oh, pretty baby, there's nothing that I wanna do. I must confess, my loneliness is killing me now. Don't you know that I still believe you will be here? Give me a sign. Help me, baby, one more time.
Woo! Yeah! This is what an whole band does. I mean, it's a totally different sound, but it's so cool. It's
It
badass.
sure messes with people.
Oh yeah.
It
I
does,
love
because the
watching
first
it.
time I heard it, I went, huh! We were at Casa Loma, and I was like, you had my favorite, you're playing my favorite guitar, it has your picture on it.
I was like,
I love that white guitar. It's
just
badass.
I just sit back and watch.
And I was
shows.
like, what? Mind blown.
I sit back in the corner and become a wallfly, and I watch until everybody's figured out what it is, and then they all go crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite songs in the
It
set.
was amazing. Oh, we were up there being stupid, taking pictures and jumping around because it's Blackie.
All right. Since we're speaking of Casa Loma,
Casa
I'll do this one.
Loma.
It's all the same. All the names will change every day. It seems we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. Drive all night just to get back home. I'm a cowboy on steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Sometimes I sleep, sometimes it's nowadays. People like me always go their separate ways. Time you tell the day by the bottle that you drink. Sometimes when you're alone, all you do is think. And I'm a cowboy on steel horse I ride. I want it, dead or alive. And I'm a cowboy, got the nine on my side. And I'm wanted, dead or alive. Ooh, yeah. Come on! I'm a cowboy on steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Oh, yeah, I walk these streets, load a 6-string on my back. I play for keeps. You know I might not make it back. I'll be everywhere, and I'm standing tall. See a million faces, you know I rock them all. And I'm a cowboy on steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. And I'm a cowboy, I got the nine on my side. And I want it, dead or alive. Dead or alive, dead or alive. I still drive, dead or alive. Ooh,
Woo! Yeah. Awesome. So how many songs are you working on now?
I got
47.
47 million. I got a bunch. I played a few of them in here. I have like She Needed Him, stuff like that. It's always fun to do.
I just asked Scott why he wasn't down here.
He's been working a lot out on the road with Eric, and then he gets back here and he does all this paving stuff. So he's been pretty tight with a lot of that.
Gotcha. Very cool. That's awesome.
What else want to hear?
Whatever you want to play.
I haven't played She Needed Him in a while. I'll do that one. So this song actually, the story goes behind this one. When I was in the Air Force way back in the day,
He'd be a fly boy.
back before Jesus Christ had a license,
Yeah.
I was married to this girl. I was really young and I was married to this girl, and we never had any kids. We were together for about 8 years, like people do in the military, and it just kind of grew apart. We started hanging out in different rooms, hanging out with different friends, listening to different music, watching different shows.
Didn't she went with you, didn't she? Did you get married for, or were you in the service?
I met her in the service. Her dad was a tech sergeant in the service also.
Oh, okay.
In the engine troop. So he was from St. Louis. That's why we hit it off. So I was sitting there jamming a guitar one night, and it's just I could just tell something was up. So I tried to fix the situation by taking her on a date. We went to a Pearl Jam concert out in Raleigh, North Carolina. And the whole time she's just sitting there with her arms folded. She didn't really care about being there. Could care less about anything that was going on. Until one song came on. One song that kicked me right square in the nuts. Better Man. Not a very popular, not a very nice song for guys. And
Great song.
I look over at her and she's throwing her fist up in the air. She got tears rolling down her cheeks. I can hear her singing over the entire band. And right then and there, I knew that it was completely done. It was no salvaging anything. So as soon as I hit the car that night in the parking lot before I even left, I wrote this song called "She Needed Him." Well, she needed him when he wasn't around. Needed him when he wasn't to be found. Why she sing the words, wishing for a better man. She didn't think I'd know. Why she sing the verse, wishing for a better man. She didn't think it showed. Every word he sang she threw her heart into the air, screaming every line. Every word he spoke she threw her hands into the air, screaming deep inside. Cause she needed him when he wasn't around. Needed him when he wasn't to be found. Needed him when he wasn't around. Needed him when he wasn't to be found. I asked her once before how the song it made her feel. She said there's nothing wrong, but I asked her once before what's the passion aimed at me. She said there's nothing wrong, but every word he sang she threw her heart into the air, screaming every line. Every word he sang she threw her hands into the air, screaming deep inside. Cause she needed him when he wasn't around. Needed him when he wasn't to be found. Needed him when he wasn't around. Needed him when he wasn't to be found. But she couldn't go this way. So she tends to settle here instead. She doesn't think that on his head. So she tends to settle here instead. Settle here instead. Who's to say it's better somewhere else? Who's to say she'd be better by herself? Cause she needed him when he wasn't around. Needed him when he wasn't to be found. Needed him when he wasn't around. Needed him when he wasn't to be found. Well, she needed him. She needed him. Well, she needed him. She needed him.
Woo! Yeah. Okay.
That's good. You're hot?
Hot in here.
It is hot in here. Tweezy likes it hot. He likes it 85 in here because he's always cold. How can you be so cold? But it's good.
My house is on 77, so.
So I brought a special guest in tonight. She gets involved with some really cool stuff, and I wanted her to come up here and talk about it a little bit. I'd like to introduce one of my oldest friends, Jewel.
Jewel.
Hi.
My bestie Jewel. And of course we gotta give props to Miss Kimber, you know, she's just here. If it weren't for you, he wouldn't be here. What do you mean? Are you kidding?
Remember, you're the maker.
So Jewel does all kinds of cool stuff behind the scenes besides, you know, hanging out and being awesome.
Well, right now I'd be feeding the homeless, but I'm here with you guys because you mean so much to me.
Yes. So you do the homeless thing on
Mondays.
Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
And where is it you go?
We go down to the riverfront. We go down by old Mississippi Nights and Sundeckers.
Mm-hmm.
They all camp. We go down that road down there behind Mississippi Nights and get them, and they come up, and we feed them.
Where the campgrounds are?
Yeah,
like-
where the
oh,
campgrounds
okay.
are. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you roll up with the lights off and go, get them?
No, we actually park.
Papa's riding low! And then they all scatter.
No, we
Do a block!
we have a food truck that has 105 hot meals donated by Cavatelli's and Ravenelli's. And then we have another bus with personal hygiene items and stuff like that. And then we have another big truck with blankets and all that good stuff. And we walk down the hill, we walk down the path, and you have to really watch it. I can't bring Margaret down there because there's syringes and stuff like that.
Right.
But they all come running up. And then once we're done there, then we go up by the arch across from where KMOV used to be. And we park there and finishes the rest of the food. 105 to 10 meals.
And you need people to help you?
Every Monday.
And what's the actual organization they get a hold of, or just you, or
Churches
just
on the street.
Churches on the street?
Churches on the street. We are in dire need of personal hygiene bags. Personal hygiene bags, socks. They all want socks. They all want underwear. And all the guys want sweatpants.
Well, you know that company Bombas, they donate that stuff all the time.
Yeah. Well.
We
Yeah,
need to
we,
do-
we run out of snack bags. We run out of personal hygiene bags before the foods even run out.
Right.
Because we just can't do it. I mean, it's every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do large animal rescue with MERS Large Animal Rescue,
Mm-hmm.
small animal rescue with Stray Paws Rescue, and Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue,
Right.
and hang out with you and you all day.
That's right.
Yep.
And I get to see her when she brings some lunch.
She's gotten so comfortable now she's raiding my snack cabinet.
Well,
Hey,
No,
it was
now
the-
she just puts
it was
a
the
special request
cashews.
to me.
Every
all
mechanic,
good.
every technician has one drawer dedicated in his $10,000 box just for food.
yes.
It's an absolute fact.
And I'm like, ooh,
It's
you have
priority.
cashews. Kimber,
Most
I need
expensive
more
refrigerator.
cashews.
I had sent him with these cashews that I got at Sam's. They were really stinking good. They were
Yeah.
With that
street
fire.
corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Street corn cashews.
Mhm.
I haven't found them again, but when I do, I'm gonna buy like 10 bags of them because they were delicious.
Awesome. Very cool. Go online.
Yeah.
I should. I wonder if they have them online at Sam's because that's where I got them.
Probably.
Probably. I just need to order them now.
If not, Amazon has them. They got everything.
Yep.
That's true.
Or Wally World.
I haven't seen them at Wally World.
No, go online because they have
God, I
them.
haven't been in Wally World.
Yeah, you got a point. You can find anything online if you look hard enough for
You
it.
can.
Get a
Exactly.
laptop that work.
Oh, have you been on the Amazon outlet?
No. Haven't been anywhere.
Well, no,
She's lying.
it's
Do not
online.
listen to
No,
her.
it got me thinking because if people can make donations to the churches on the street stuff,
Right.
the Amazon outlet a lot of times has really good discounts on like bulk items and stuff.
Like like
Like
anything.
snacks,
Hand sanitizer,
whatever, they don't care.
wipes, toilet paper, socks. Yeah.
So when you have kids, in case anybody out there is not a parent yet, when you have kids, it doesn't matter what you're doing, who you're talking to, you could be talking to the resurrected soul of like some major astronaut from the 60s. You know, the universe's greatest event, and this kid's gonna just walk up and go, hey, get out of my way, I gotta ask mom a question.
You're right.
No, the best time is when you dare to try to go to the bathroom. God forbid, and shut the door. Mom, what are you doing in there? Mom, how dare you shut the door? What
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah,
It becomes a life or death emergency as soon as mom pops a squat.
Right. I know. It's
How
ridiculous.
dare you ask for free
It's
time?
and don't get on the phone because it's mom.
And don't lock the bathroom door.
Yeah.
Because then the house is on fire.
Oh, I know. It's
I can't even do that
ridiculous.
with my dogs.
That's ridiculous.
No, I can't do it with the dog, the cat, or
No.
the kids. Because
You
they
cannot
all
shut the
figure out
door.
a way to like,
Yeah.
the
Bam.
cat's pushing his paws
Yeah.
under the door and he's
Right,
like,
I know.
hello?
Get some toilet paper.
What are you doing? Yeah, I know. Mojo paces outside the door. I can hear him. I'm like, oh, time to cut your nails, cause
Yeah, right.
it's click. Oh my God! I'm like, go sit down. I hear him. Boom. He just hits the floor.
It'd be really scary.
Stop pacing!
Wouldn't be
He
really
only
scary.
weighs 7 pounds, but he's so freaking annoying.
What would be really scary is if you heard that and started to yell at him and then look over and he's sitting right there.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen those
Wait a
movies.
minute.
Burn
Right.
the whole house down.
I watched
Oh.
Callan do that. He's a whopping 30 pounds. He's just a little guy, right? But he has elephant feet.
Mm-hmm.
He can shake the whole damn house. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, how do you put that much force in your feet, sir?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He
I'm
just
still trying
does.
to figure it out.
Just daddy's temper. That's what it is.
He's got daddy's ego.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Shut up.
He doesn't
No. He's all ego. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I've known you since I was like 10.
We're talking to too many people that know too much.
A little bit.
Yeah, but he gets it from his dad.
Yeah. I try to get him
And
down
his
here
dad
Oh, I
has.
met his dad. He's so cool.
His dad is. Oh, so
So
when he
cool.
starts, he's out of the house now. He comes out of the house.
Every once in a while
He came to work.
He actually
I
came out
mean,
and did a
during
show with me.
COVID, couldn't blast him out of the house. I mean,
He
no-
got out and did a show with me a couple times.
What?
Yeah.
His dad's amazing. His dad's
He
cool.
plays harmonica. He goes by the name of Doc Sweetwood. He played with Buffalo Bob for 35 years, who used to be Chuck Berry's guitar player.
Right.
If you listen to my dad talk about the stories when he was out doing music professionally, there's a lot of things I still don't even know what he did. I'm still finding out things that he did. He toured with David Allan Coe for a little while. I had no idea.
Yep.
He played with what's the saxophone player from Beach Boys? He played with him for a little while. Richie Kanata. He played with him for a little while. So I was coming into town. My drummer and I were coming into town off tour one time, and I hit him up, and I'm like, "Where you at?" He goes, "I'm at a jam session out in Warrenton." I said, "Okay, whose house? I'll come out and check it out." It's the guy that he used to play guitar, and he also played drums for a little while for Marshall Tucker. I said, "What? Out in Warrenton?" He goes, "Yeah, come out here every Sunday." Get the fuck out of here. He goes, "Nah, come on out. I'll give you the address." So I went out there. It's a funny story. I'd never met this guy before. And nice little practice studio out in the backside of his big ass pole barn. And he's got this really nice Gibson ES335 hanging on the wall. And I don't have my guitars with me; they're all packed away. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you can play guitar if you want to." And the only thing I see available is this Gibson. So I start to step towards it, and the guy from Marshall Tucker says, "Not that one, not that one." He reaches over and hands me a cheap Fender Strat. Says, "You play this one." So we played Fire on the Mountain, and I killed it, ripped the shit out of it. He gets up off his seat, walks over, pulls the Gibson down off the wall, and goes, "You can play this now."
Now you can play it. Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
good.
"That's cool."
That's awesome. That's very
He was
cool.
waiting.
So that was
Yeah,
pretty
I got the quick resume when John and I did that sound gig for you at that Harley Davidson place,
Right.
and it was Third Ike, and I don't know what it's called now.
Still sort of like something. I don't know.
I don't know what it
He's
was.
still a part of it.
Yeah.
My family is just ingrained in music for years and years. My grandfather played with Johnny Cash and Chet Atkins and Roy Clark. Him and Roy Clark were friends. Do you remember? There's a music book, Mel Bay. Remember Mel Bay music?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that was my grandpa's best friend? And for years, I had no idea who the guy was.
Right.
I made an ass of myself at 8 years old. I was
No,
down, I was down
not
at my
at
grandpa's.
8. You made an ass out of yourself. Shut your
I was in my
mouth.
grandpa's basement messing around with his guitar, and Mel was over there, and I've seen this guy 1,000 times. And Mel Bay, if everybody doesn't know, Mel Bay was a huge name in the St. Louis area. He had these books in music stores, Scotty's Music and whatnot, and actually made it to some of the national stores. I'd seen him out on the road. Huge name. Every country star from the 60s and 70s knew who he was. So to me, he was just some guy named Mel that my grandpa knew, because I was about his age. And I'm down there dicking around with my grandpa's guitar. And Mel walks up and goes, "You want to learn how to play guitar?" He drops a stack of books on the floor. He goes, "Check these out." And I looked at him like, "I don't need these damn books." My face with that nonsense. Get total ass
Jesus.
myself.
Well, I didn't know who Chuck Berry was. I mean, he used to come over and jam with my dad. I was 5. He brought Ingrid over. That's all I cared
Right.
about. I had a little girl to play with, you know. So we've been friends since we were 5. I had no idea who he was, so I saw him in the Ed Sullivan Show. Oh my God, that's that guy that jams with you in the basement. No big deal.
Devin used to come over to my house all the time. We used to jam all the time.
Oh, Devin.
I would take my drums out to his house out in Lake St. Louis, and we just get together and jam. And when Devin started gaining some popularity, and it came out whose dad was, Greg Allman, I said, "You remember that kid used to come over here all the time in the blue Escort?" And he says, "Yeah." I said, "That's Devin." Huh? pretty funny.
Yeah, that whole story is just so, it's really sad. Devin went through a lot of shit with that, but bless his heart.
I ain't
Good
talked
old
to him in a
Dev.
while. Just get a hold of him, see how he's doing.
I haven't talked to him in a couple of months. I ran into, let's see, last time I think we hung out was 2013 at the Shanty. Jeremiah Johnson was there. He was playing, Devin was playing, matter of fact, and we were on the back patio talking. His girlfriend just dumped him because he fell off the wagon again, and I just dumped Cal's, and we were back there doing shots, and Jeremiah Johnson's like, hey, I'm going to start a new band. I'm like, great, do it. And he did, and he's been on fire ever since.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
He's playing.
Waves for himself.
He's playing Thursday, I think. Again.
I have a funny,
Redfish.
it's kind of selfish story, but I have a funny in-your-face moment with her dad. So
Not a selfish story. Blackie Starks.
her
If
dad
you've never
gave me the
known this
hardest way
guy.
to go when I first met her. There's nothing I had ever done or could do was ever gonna. He was a farm guy out in Kansas, and the last guy she was with was a complete, what fathers expected, ate their daughters.
Piece of trash.
And so here comes me, musician, another piece of trash. And so I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I grew up with Devin, I knew all these people. And her dad would constantly just, whatever, I don't believe that shit. So we're down at the Broadway Oyster Bar. They're in St. Louis visiting. We're at the Broadway Oyster Bar, and Devin's sitting at the bar. So I walked over and said hey and introduced him to the family. And not only was they there, but the Marshall Tucker Band was sitting there also. And her dad might shit himself. And then what was it? He had to take me to bus call. When we jumped on the bus at 1 o'clock in the morning to go out and travel. He actually
Yeah, they
he
picked
jumped up and
you
goes, I'll
up.
drive you up there.
They picked you up in Hayes, Kansas at
Yeah.
1 a.m. And my dad was like, at this point, he's kind of gotten to the point where he's like, okay, well, this guy's tolerable. I'm not sure 100% that I'm on board with this. He still thought I was crazy when we got married.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, yeah, I'll take you.
Right.
I was like,
But then he finds out she's hanging out with Dave from Tesla, and
yeah. He got a little jealous.
Oh, too bad.
That's funny.
So sad.
It was pretty
the
cute.
whole point of that was I got to, for the one time in all the new guys courting the girls,
Yeah.
I actually got to stand up and say, haha, I told you so.
You didn't suck.
I didn't suck. You don't suck no more.
That's good. That's good. That's
Dad
awesome.
would actually come to your shows even though he said it was too damn loud.
Yeah. So actually, I think I'm gonna do a blues song in his memory because we were at the lake one night and I started busting out some blues stuff and he's like, that's what you should be doing all the time. So
What?
yep. So I'm gonna do this one.
Okay. Do this one.
Ain't but one way out, baby. Lord, just can't go out the door. Ain't but one way out, baby. Lord, I just can't go out the door. Cause there's a man down there, might be a man, I don't know. Lord, you got me trapped on the second floor. I get down this time, won't be trapped no more. Raise the window, baby, I can ease out something slow. All my neighbors know they won't be talking that stuff that they don't know. Lord, I'm foolish for to be here in the first place. I know when I get out, somebody gonna take my place. Raise the window, baby, I can ease out something slow. Cause there's a man down there, might be a man, I don't know. Lord, I'm foolish for to be here in the first place. I know when I get down, somebody gonna come and take my place. Raise the window, baby. I can need out something slow. Cause there's a man down there. Might be your man, I don't know. Cause there's a man down there. Might be your man, I don't know. Cause there's a man down there. I said, I said there's a man down there. Oh baby, I just don't know.
Woo, yeah. You like the blues?
That's a good one.
You like playing the blues? Or just peppering it in there?
I think it was a great foundation for what everybody's doing now, and if you understand it and you know how to use it and apply it to modern rock, I think it actually you can add a lot of flavor to it.
Well, that goes back to the history. I mean, the old blues songs, you know, that didn't get any airplay that
Right.
people have taken, like David Lee Roth and, you know, Ice Cream Man and the rest of them, that have just, you know, set them on fire. But I mean, that's what you start with that and you can't go wrong. I mean, because they're just, it's a great sound. It's just, I mean, it's so pure and just so, I don't know. I don't want to call it just blues because it's not just, it's a
Right.
feeling, it's an attitude. I mean, it's just, I mean, every artist who sang back then and did their thing, and you just feel it. It's just them, you know, they're right there at you. And
My childhood hero was B.B. King, and I got to meet him once. B.B. King's first attempt at a guitar was a nail here on a post, a nail here on a post, and a piece of string, and he would take wood block and sit there and pluck it, and roll the thing up and down. That's how he learned how to you know, basically how that worked. So I worked for a radio station out in North Carolina, and the girl that I had written that song for, she needed him. We went up there. She was sales staff. I was DJ. We went to the B.B. King show in Greensboro to get the guitar signed, so to give it away. So we got to watch the show, and then we got to go backstage. I tell you, I met a lot of celebrities in my career. That guy was the most humble, most human person I've ever talked to in my life. Ever.
He's a sweetheart.
Dude, he thanked me. He thanked me for listening to his music. I'm like, what are you thanking me for? He goes, because, young man, if you don't thank me, or if you're not buying my stuff, you're not how to listen to stuff and appreciate what I do, I wouldn't have a career. I'd be stuck filling bottles or something, you know. He says, it's guys like you why I get to do this.
Oh, he's awesome. I lived in Memphis for 12 years, and I called. Let's see, I had moved back here, and I was was going down for the Blues Challenge, and I called B.B. King's, and he answered the phone, and I didn't believe it was him.
There you go.
And he said,
B.B. King lit.
he said, I said something. I said, I want to make some reservations because I'm on one of the judging committees for the blues thing, and I said, "You think B.B. King's going to be there tonight?" And he said, "I should be." And I said, "Oh, this ain't you." And he said,
That sounds like him.
and he said, I said, "I don't believe it." He said, "Hang on a minute." He puts the phone down. He gets Lucille out and starts playing. I like to cry. And I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "I'm on the floor going like this, going holy shit." Oh, who does that? Anyway, he got back on the phone and said, "Okay, I believe you. So what time are you going to be there? You going to be at my table?" I mean, he's just so, when you meet him, it's
He's
like,
larger than life.
he's a warm hug.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so genuine and sweet. You just want to sit there and just listen to him. I mean, he's just
doing this thing.
he's just the nicest guy.
He's doing this meet and greet backstage, and he had this big ass lounge chair, big chair, and he sat right in the middle of the room. And when you walked into the room, it was just that was the focus of the room. Like all the energy just emanated like a sun, you know. And it was the coolest thing I'd ever experienced. He's such a nice guy.
He's very personable. I mean, he looks you in the eye, and when he talks to you, it's just like, it's just like butter. I mean, it's just like, oh,
Like he's known you for
such a unique
30 years.
Yes,
or
he's a
something, you know, known your whole
sweetheart.
life, whatever.
he's a total sweetheart. What?
Nothing.
That's why he's got 89 kids.
So does Tweezy.
Hey!
Hey! Bada bing.
You gonna let her get away with that?
That's why he's so cold all the time. What are you doing? What? She's turning bright red.
That's
What
what
is
I
she
said.
doing?
Like, why are you turning so
What are you
red?
doing?
It's hot in here.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Give me that phone. It's something.
getting hot in here.
She's getting hot and Tweezy's so cold. What? Oh my God! So are you gonna get together and do? Are you gonna go back? You trying to go back on the road again, or you just gonna try and start with the
So-
studio stuff? What are you gonna do?
This is what we discussed. I'm not 18 anymore. Obviously, I've got a family to take care of, mortgage
Yes.
and whatnot. However, I would love to go back on the road, but I'm not going to do it stupidly. If this thing takes off with soundtracks and we can actually make some residuals off of it, like Rob was saying, I'm going to hire a good friend of mine who used to be my radio promoter back in the day when I first got my first record deal. He is now the manager for Fozzy. I'm sure y'all heard of that band.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, I've known Randy forever. Randy is responsible for getting stuff that I wrote on over 80-something stations in a couple different bands. He got us on stage with Nickelback. He got us on stage with Our Lady Peace and a whole bunch of different bands. So he's the one that actually put the Black Crowes and Shinedown on the map. And remember the song by Josh Joplin, Camera One, all that crap? He actually named the Black Crowes. He gave them their name. They were called Uncle Tupelo's Mississippi Hat or some shit like that. And he's like, no, that's not going to fly. Try this name.
Right.
So he gave them Black Crowes their name. I've known Randy forever, and he's been hounding my ass. Every once in a while, about 6 months out of the year, every 6 months, I'll get an email from him. What are you doing? Get me some music. And this has been going on for years. So I'm like, all right.
Well, stop dicking around and get it
I
done. What the
haven't-
hell?
That problem is,
What is the problem?
the problem is I can't find dedicated musicians that'll get off their ass and work. You know that. You get somebody in there that wants to ride a little bit, and as soon as you say, hey, listen, there's some work involved in this, they're like, I'm out. I can't do that. It's hard.
You just had to be nicer.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes. See, if you're nice first and then yell at them, then they don't hear you. It doesn't hurt as
Well, I
bad.
always warn them ahead of time.
But when you start yelling first, they're like, oh,
Oh,
fuck
look.
you.
No, I say, look. This is my experience in the industry. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I don't want to make all the same mistakes that I've made in the past. So this is the track that we're going to take. If you would just stick with me and understand what I'm telling you, that I'm just not to be a tyrant. It's to say I don't want to make all the mistakes anymore.
Right.
But then they're like, I can't do that. Well, what did we talk about in the beginning? Why did you agree to do this? You knew that was going to happen.
Right. I understand. I get it.
If people listen. I've worked in the industry a long time. I've done a lot of crap in the industry. I don't even talk about all the crap I've done in the industry. I made all the mistakes that everyone could ever possibly make. I took the long road, and I kicked my own ass several times. I've had my ass kicked by 4 major label producers. I've been bitched at in studios, wanting to kick somebody's ass. Rick Beato, worked with Rick Beato, one of the biggest producers in the industry. And by the time we were done recording the record, the 4 of us in the band were ready to go kick the shit out of it. That's how bad it got.
Right. Oh, I understand. But I mean, it's
but
your
I learned
music,
all that-
it's your passion, and you're right. You're right. You're
I learned
right
all
when
the
it comes
mistakes.
to, yes.
And all I'm trying to do is say, look, don't do that.
Right.
Here's all the things you don't need to do. Do this.
Right.
When you give somebody all the answers to the easiest test to make you everything you ever want to do, and they're just like, well, I don't want to listen to that. It's frustrating.
I know. I understand. I get it.
I've got friends in every single genre that have done these steps, have done these methods, and made all the mistakes themselves. And it works, but it doesn't work if you don't get people to listen to it.
Right. I know. I get it. I understand. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You are.
Frustrating.
It is frustrating. I mean, you're not the only musician that's like. There's a couple of other musicians that are the same way, but it's their music. It's the way they want it, and they've done it. So they're right. Just do it.
You ever watch that show, where they rescue the restaurants?
Yes.
Oh,
Bar
So-
rescue.
Yeah,
Bar
bar
rescue.
rescue.
Did you ever see the episodes where he gets into a fight with the owner for, look, you got to change this on this cheeseburger. or
Yes.
This is why you're not selling it.
Yes.
And that's just my burger. It's the same concept.
Yes.
You can be as stubborn as you want to, and you can be as broke as you want to by being that stubborn.
Right.
Or listen to people who've actually made those mistakes, and you know what? Maybe I should try that and see what
Right.
happens.
Exactly.
I'm not asking you to change the world, your own world. Just tweak it a little bit so that the public goes, "Hey, I like that too."
Right. Exactly.
That's it.
I mean, there's
I love it when he's like, "You're fired. You're fired.
Yeah.
You're fired."
I've done that myself.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
That's right. I'm fired.
I fired myself from
You
some
fired
bands.
yourself a couple times. I already know.
Fired myself out of the studio many times. I can't play that. You go do it.
Exactly.
You got to know what's best for the project and not for yourself. That's the problem with a lot of people. Musicians have a big ego they cannot get over. They don't understand how to check themselves. They don't understand that sometimes they're getting in their own way. Mm-hmm. And it's something I had to deal with. I had to learn it myself.
Well, it's a little bit more difficult with original music because you know what it's supposed to sound like in your head. And if you've got a team that just plays music and doesn't have the creative, arm or
Right.
idea, and they're just doing what you say, it's a little bit harder to
That's-
bridge that gap regarding, listen to what's in my head, I know what I'm talking about, and, they're just there just to play.
That's where chemistry comes into play.
Yep.
And that's like lightning in a bottle, and it only happens once in a million years for any one person. Mm-hmm. I was fortunate to have that a couple times in the situations that I was in.
Yep.
And I saw that in action, like when Isaac James started. Isaac James had Joel from Stone Sour in it. We got together. We were actually put together as another completely different band with another singer out in Kansas City with this guy that he was in the studio. He was a great songwriter, mediocre singer. We went out and did a couple shows. We did one in Kansas City, one here in St. Louis, and I quit the band after the St. Louis show. I was like, I'm not going to be bothered with all this. It just sucked.
Right.
Because he looked like, I don't know what he was doing. He was doing jazz hands or some shit on stage. And the songs were really good. He actually worked with Rick also. But when I tried to talk to him, I said, look, I've been doing this a lot longer than you. You're a guy who makes a lot of money as an engineer. You go to karaoke bars. People, you should write a record. And that's what he did. He took all his money, dumped it into it, went and hired the best producer. And it came out pretty decent. It wasn't something that stood out on its own, but it could definitely get him to the next level. Mm-hmm. But he didn't want to listen to anything that either myself or Joel had to say about performance. Mm-hmm. And when we played the St. Louis show, I had so many people walking up to me and go, why are you in this band?
Right.
Because I was just playing rhythm guitar, backup vocals. I didn't mind. It was cool with me. Mm-hmm. So one night, after the show, I told the manager that I was like, I'm stepping back. I gotta find somebody else. I don't want to do this anymore. And then all of a sudden, I get a phone call from Joel from Des Moines. Dude, if you're quitting the band, I'm going with you. And then Gil calls me, and then John calls me. So that's how we formed. That's how we formed all the games.
So who's in the
Chillacamino right now.
Chillacamino.
It's right now.
like El Camino, but chill.
It's Chillacamino.
Right now, it's pretty much just me and Mike Hackasall. I've known Mike for 30 years. He was in a band that got signed called Evermore Broken. His drummer, I think, plays now like As I Lay Dying or something like that. A big, huge band. Mm-hmm. He's a studio drummer in Nashville. Mike is an amazing bass player. He was in Maximus for a little while, and I just, through friends urging, I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna call Mike and see if he wants to do this, and he just jumped right in. We've had a couple of guys that were filling in. I thought they were going to be permanent, but then I understand their situation. They own their own businesses. One of them actually is an IT guy who works for the government. He just got a big Space Force contract out at Scott Air Force Base. He's like, I don't have time to do shit.
Right.
So, but he's been gracious enough to keep playing anytime I needed him to. Okay. So it's not like they quit. They just said, I don't have time for it. I'll stick around until you find somebody. Casey, the drummer, his heart's just not in it. Cover stuff, he's amazing at. When I try to convey to him what I'm hearing in my head drum-wise, he's just like, okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He didn't say I didn't care. But you could tell that in the back of his mind, it's like, I would rather be doing something else. Which is cool. Not everybody's cut out to do certain things,
Right.
So Mike and I decided to, we started reaching out to some people that we knew locally. I started reaching out to some industry contacts that I knew, just to kind of put something together. And right now we're auditioning for drummers, guitar players, whatever. At this moment, I'm going to kind of divert the original plan. The original plan was I was all gung-ho and excited about getting back out and playing. And then I started thinking about all the bullshit that I had to go through every time I did that. Mm-hmm. In St. Louis especially, you got to go sell tickets. Listen, you don't tell somebody who's already making, how do I put this without sounding like an asshole? You don't tell somebody who's had a lot of experience in the industry just because they start a new band to go out and be a garage band again.
I know.
I've got a lot of experience in that. I can offer that to anyone. But listen, if I'm going to play a show, I'm going to get paid. I'm sorry. I've done way too much. I'm not going to go peddle your tickets for you, and you should be out there doing that.
That's why I don't book anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. If I get a gig, if I book somebody, I don't charge a commission. I just say, here it is, pay them whatever. But it's so disheartening. I mean, back when I was booking in the 90s, it was easy.
Yeah,
I mean, it
people
was.
did their jobs.
I mean, because well,
I've
all
had
the
this conversation so many times.
yeah, I know. The bars are always full, and everybody came out and yada yada yada. But I mean, now it's more like the bottom line. How many people can they bring? And
How many
it's
people are you going to bring? You own the bar. How many people are you going to bring? You're
exactly.
the promoter. My job is to go home and make sure that I don't suck, so that when they show up, they stay.
right,
But they don't seem to get that,
right.
and that's why a lot of the bands and bars today just are mediocre. There's a lot of them that don't understand the concept of songwriting. They don't understand the concept of playing as a team, and it shows because they're too busy trying to bring people into the door.
Well, they can't play all originals. They have to pepper in.
But
Covers.
the flip
Covers.
side of that is, if those guys would spend the time studying songwriting and studying what works in the industry like I did, their songs would be amazing because they're not that far off.
No,
I
they're
listen
not.
to these guys, and I'm like, if you tweak this,
Jeremiah Johnson does it all day long.
you would have a whole town full of amazing songwriters. But the bars and the promoters aren't doing their jobs, and they're forcing these guys to step away from their instruments. I mean, you got to work. When you're not famous, you're not on a tour bus making millions of dollars. You got to work. You've only got so many hours in a day.
Yep.
You need to be spending that time honing your craft so that you're a professional.
Yep.
Anybody in acting they'll all tell you the same thing.
I know.
You've got to hone your craft so that when you go out there, you don't suck. Imagine if who's your favorite actor? Just pick an actor.
Sam Elliott.
All right. Imagine if Sam Elliott never
All
took the
day
time.
long.
Imagine if Sam Elliott never took the time to learn his
Anyhow.
craft, and he just walked around and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna be in a TV show. You wanna come watch it?" But he had no idea about how to act. Would you feel the same?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
No, you
That voice? Are you kidding?
He
That
looked like a
bites my
homeless guy on
butter.
the corner here in St. Louis. He looked like any other homeless guy out here.
It's to be.
The point of that is if people in the industry in that triangle would start working together again and doing their job instead of forcing it on someone else, it used to be really easy to make money in this industry.
Well, it used to be, but then again, I mean, it's just.
Everyone's like, I'm not doing that job. It's not my job.
It's not so much that. I mean, you're looking at the market and you're looking at, we have a great musician base here in St. Louis, but I think a lot of it is that we're killing ourselves by every venue being full every weekend. Nobody can actually go out and see each other play. I think that's part of it.
I would
And it's
disagree.
great that everybody has a gig, but at the same time, it's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah,
I would
Van
disagree.
Because they
Carlos said
can't
that all the
always.
time.
This
I would
last
disagree,
weekend.
and I'll tell you why. I'll disagree, and I'll tell you why. Because there's room enough for every one of us to have a good crowd. Like you just said, all the venues are full. They're full. What
Right.
you're telling me is that there's people out seeing it. Okay?
Right.
But what's not happening is you go see these bands, and they're just, I'm sorry, but they're just mediocre. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm not impressed by anything that I hear out there.
I understand what you're saying.
Bands, their tempos are up and down. They don't know how to add parts in songs that there's little earworm parts in songs that have to be there. And if you got 3 guitar players on stage and they're all going, it just sounds like a big fucking wall of mess. Where's the
But the majority of the public, and you know this better than anybody else, are tone deaf, and they hear what they want to hear, and they're going to hear it how they want to hear it.
But-
I catch more musicians making mistakes, and it's like, I'm like this, and I can't help it because I
Okay.
shouldn't do that.
but in the subconscious,
But they do not hear it.
they do hear it, but they don't acknowledge it on the conscious set. In the subconscious, though, they hear that and they're like, I didn't like that band, but I can't remember why. I've heard this conversation 1,000 times from people. I wasn't really impressed with those guys. I can tell you why. It's because in the back of their mind, they're catching that stuff, but it's not coming to the forefront. So they remember that they were at that bar. They remember that the service was mediocre. They remember that the band was, I'm going to stay home tonight, But if you allowed the musicians to do what they need to do, it would be amazing. That's what happened in Seattle. That's what happened in LA. It's what happened in New York. If you allow the bands to do what they're supposed to do, you own a venue, you make your venue so that it's popular 7 days a week. Right. I don't give a shit if some old guy coming beating pans off the street comes in and plays your bar. There's people everywhere because they want to hang out at your bar.
Right.
They don't want to hang out there because of who's playing there. They already know you're going to book somebody good.
Right.
Because musicians are good.
Right.
They're going to want to go. You get the reputation for that. So you got a nice place and you're getting great service. And then the promoter's going out there and he's actually doing his job. He's going out to the people That's how he earns his money. By the people that come in the door that he's responsible for. Now he makes bank. And then you get a good band who's studied their craft, and they get in there and they just kick the shit out of it when people walk in. Nobody wants to leave. You got to kick them out of the door after the last call. That's how it used to be in the 90s and the 80s.
The 80s, it was insane.
80s was amazing.
Forget it. I mean, because it didn't stop. It didn't matter who was playing on the landing because you went to all the bars, and the band and everybody followed over to the east side.
Yeah.
Went to Oz and Pops. I mean, it didn't stop because I worked on the landing. I remember, so it was just like, it was never-ending music, nonstop, 24/7, and everybody was making money. Stupid money.
And think about the quality of the bands back then.
Oh.
We're talking guys who worked at McDonald's up the street were selling out to 5,000 people every Friday, Saturday
Well, it
night.
doesn't matter. They're still playing music too.
Yep.
Whether it's 5,000 people or 5 people, they are still that
King
pro.
of the Hill. I'll use King of the Hill as an example.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
talking about a local band who, man, when I first heard those guys, I was blown away.
I know.
And I was in the Air Force. I was in my tech school dorm. Stayed up late one night in the dorm common area watching MTV. And King of the Hill comes on. And he's wearing a St. Louis Blues jersey. I'm like, who are these guys? So I would look them up. And, holy shit, they're St. Louis guys.
The first video was I Do You.
Yep.
I was up in Brooklyn, New York, and I looked over and I'm like, that's Frankie. I'm like, what are
But-
you doing on TV?
Back then, they were allowed to do what they needed to do, and that's why they sounded so amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they were this close to getting signed so many times. I mean, but they started as Broken Toys, and then King of the Hill, and Hell in a Handbasket, and it's sad because they're so freaking gifted, and everything Frankie touches turns to gold.
I've had tours where our management company sent stuff out to cities weeks in advance, and you get there and there's not even one goddamn flyer hanging on the wall. There's no excuse for that.
I know.
I'm not from this city, dude. I live in St. Louis. I don't live in Houston, Texas. Why are my flyers not on the wall?
Right.
Well, when you get here, you need to go pass out flyers. Oh, yeah, I'm going to pass them out to, 50 people? You might get 3 out of that show up? Come on,
Yeah.
dude.
No.
That's your job,
No.
not mine.
Back in the day, the walls were saturated with flyers.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, it was always. Everybody was all about everything. It was one big group. I mean, everybody was always playing. It didn't matter where, but it's just not like that anymore. And then, they cracked down on a bunch of people getting DUIs right and left, and the 2-for-1 thing went away when I was a bartender. Upside down margaritas,
Wednesday.
flaming shots. We could set anything on fire back in the day.
So the whole point of that was that rant there that lasted about 20 minutes. With this band, I'm going to take a different path. I'm going to try and assemble just a great team of local songwriters and write the best things that we can, because there's enough money to go around. From what Rob was saying, you can make a shit ton of money
You can.
in the industry. He's got a friend who's been making $20,000 a month since 1994 for a 15-second TV jingle he wrote. Since then, $20,000 a month. This guy's a billionaire.
Well, Seamus Harvest has made it out. Conquest, Divine Sorrow, Jeremiah Johnson. Let me think, who else over here? Mama's Pride, there's a good one. I mean, there's so many bands out here who are just doing their own music and still doing it. So,
It's
The
getting tougher and
Urge.
tougher, though.
The Urge.
It's getting so tough for bands out on the road. I know Brett from Fuel. I've known the guy forever, and every once in a while he'll post his ASCAP earnings online, and he's just like, this ridiculous, man. I haven't got an ASCAP check in how long? Last one I got was pretty crap, $600 or something like that.
It wasn't even that.
Yeah,
It was like 27 cents
yeah,
or
well-
some shit.
I remember that one. That was pretty shitty.
27 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since what was that company? Was Spotify that was ripping off artists?
Yeah.
Ever since he started doing his thing, and it just
What
killed
about
us.
Reverb Nation? Reverb Nation.
Reverb
My
Nation.
brother's on that. He gets like royalties, like 25 cents.
I actually knew those guys when they first started that up. They used to send me a lot of promotional material, and they were always responsive. I talked to them constantly about this and that, and then it started gaining notoriety.
They're
and,
dicks.
And then I couldn't get them to answer the call anymore. They just
I can't stand them. They're assholes.
they completely changed their platform. It was started for artists by artists is what it was, and it was all about the artist. And they would contact every one of us and say, "How do you do this? How do you do this?" And once they got it all figured out, they just kicked all of us out the door.
And that's all about bottom line. They don't
Yep.
care. They don't give a shit.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
That
So
is the way it
the point
is.
of that is I want to find the best people who want to get involved in this, write the best songs that we can, produce the stuff. I've got contacts with some good major label producers. Larry Gann, the guy I use all the time. And then I'm gonna see how much money it brings us, and then use that as an avenue to go play bigger shows every once in a while when I choose to. You know, if I decide to go out and play a show in Kansas City at they didn't have the big rock show out there anymore, but you know what I mean. Point Fest here. I don't want to be the guy who begs to get on stage. I want to be the guy that they call up and say, hey, would you mind doing a spot for us?
Rocklahoma, Sturgis.
I used to be that guy. I've been that guy, and it's cool. When Guns N' Roses came through Kansas City, they actually paid us to play that show. They called us to play it. I miss that.
I hear you. I hear you.
So that's what I'm doing with Chillacamino. It's not going to necessarily be a bar band. Every once in a while, we may go out and do a show just for the hell of it, just because it's fun to get out and play, and it's the best practice you could ever get as an original band is to get out and play in front of people.
Well, I've seen that some of the bigger bands that are still original or are original will help some of the newer bands and do 2 or 3 bands at one night.
Tribute bands.
No, we're not talking about tributes. I'm talking about all originals.
Tribute bands.
There's a couple of venues that will, do that for you.
I don't have a problem with tribute bands. I really don't.
No.
I think they're no different than anybody going out and wearing Metallica's T-shirt. They're promoting the band. It's cool. But when your career is built on someone else's hard work, and you're selling out a venue of 5,000-6,000 people, and you won't give an original local band a chance to come out and open for you guys, that's shitty.
Yes.
I don't agree with that.
No.
I think that right now they have a great opportunity to lift the city. Obviously, people want to get out and see these shows. That's cool. Let's go pack the tribute shows. Put them in St. Charles Arena. Let them pack them like they do. It's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity.
Well, and you have a bigger audience if you've got 2 different kinds. You've got, the original band and all their family and friends on top of the tribute band. So
that's how cover bands would have original bands open up for them back in the 70s and whatnot. That's how a lot of the big bands came out. Van Halen was one of them. So you got to give those guys a shot. And if you've got the avenue you've got the vehicle to do that, man, open the door and let them in. Don't be stingy. I hate that.
I hate that. Speaking of somebody who's not stingy, we got to give a shout out to my buddy Tom Turbrock and Rail Rock Revolution because he does a show. I've got to be on it. He said, you got to be on my show. So yes, I got to get on. I got to get out there and get back on his show. It's amazing. And of course, Vance Towns. He does a show every Thursday night.
Yeah, Vance.
Todd Kohlers, KGF Rocks, and Todd just had a birthday. So happy birthday!
He just
Todd.
retired from Forklifts to St. Louis.
Did he really?
Yep.
I love Todd. He's a sweetheart. So we got to give a shout out to Vance because he always gives me one. So he's awesome. That's the sound of your people. Is that And on a personal note, my girl Jilly and Allison and Chiefly made it home safely. They were on a road trip, so I can't mention anything else more about it, but yeah, good job. And of course, Charlie Judy, my sister. I love Judy. Can you do the sound? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You want to do some sounds? Well, I don't know what we got on here, so here you go. You remember how to do it?
Yeah, Freddie and Jennifer.
So see, so you bring the mouse.
I'm kind of thinking.
Spain.
Bring the mouse over here. We're doing sounds, and then you're gonna hit that one. Okay. There's the crickets.
I just want to go to Vegas for the weekend. Shit.
You gotta wait for the cricket. Okay, and do that one.
And just like that, he's taking over.
No, this right here. This side. This side.
The first time he ever stole the stage
Is that a boo? That's a boo.
Are you booing your dad?
He just got a boo.
I'm not.
Yeah, let's see.
What?
Do this one. Do that one. That's a fun one. This is how that's how I come in every day.
That sounds like me on the way to work.
Sideways. How about do this one? Do that one.
DJ?
They always have the tickets
Ah.
on my like at 8 o'clock.
What's this
I'm like,
one?
fuckers, I don't get here
Do
till
it.
like 10 after.
Damn.
Every day.
Do this one for your daddy so he'll sing another song. Right here. That one right there. That's for you. Come on, Dad. Okay, let him sing. You can play with the other. We got 3 more to do, okay?
Alright.
So wait till he's done. Wait till he's done. That's him playing. Yeah, that's him playing. That's what it looks
that
like.
sound. What's this then?
Same thing. Listen, these are speakers.
Okay.
Empty house. Lord, I saw you walk by an open doorway. I must be losing my mind. Silent room. All I can hear is the thunder. Here comes the rain. Come and wash me away. Dead of night, I sat straight up in bed. I heard the door. I must be dreaming again. Cold sweat, ain't no way to be living. Open window, I feel the rain coming out. Hey, 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 yeah, and I know where you looking for. Everything changed.
Son.
Walk through the door, and I know where you look at me. Everything changed. Can't be what you need. Wash away the pain I made. Should've never let you in. I'm a fool for thinking I won't get heartbroken again. Thunder drowns most of the sound, and I can still hear your voice. Nothing that can take away all of this noise. And I know when you look before, everything changed when you walked out the door. And I know when you look at me, everything changed. Can't be what you need. And I know
This is like awesome.
when you look before, everything changed
I know.
when you walked out the door. And I know.
Going super
When
loud.
you look at me, everything changes. Can't be what you need. Come and wash me away. 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 Here comes the rain. Come and wash me away.
Woo! Yeah. Episode 138. Blackie Starks from Chillacamino in the house. You want to take a quick break real fast? Are you good? Or you want to keep playing? You good? Okay.
Let's do a shot.
All right, we'll do a shot. We're gonna take a break.
Wait, I still want to do
We're gonna do sounds here real quick. You gotta tell them who you are. Come on.
What's your
You
name?
introduce
You
yourself.
gotta introduce yourself. Get up here.
The son of.
The son of Blackie.
Wait. Oh.
Wait. Oh, that's not your name.
You think drink
I know.
This is Mud. His name is Mud.
No.
No, what? It's not Mud. What's your name?
Connor.
Connor.
Wait, what's this?
What's this? I don't know. Do that one.
Wait.
And you know this.
And you know this. Okay, do that one. You haven't done that one yet. And this one.
I'll come over.
Ooh, you're gonna blow it up.
It's like a nuke going off.
I know.
Sounds like a nuke is going off.
There was a nuke going off. Oh, we're gonna listen to a little yigga digga.
I don't care what you say, and I'ma do what I want. Or put a gun to my face, I still do what I want. Shouldn't mess with me, 'cause I'ma mess you up. No one asked you to speak, so I'ma shut you up. 'Cause you know I'm a wild one. Yeah, you know I'm a wild one. I hope you know I'm the wild one. 'Cause I'm the wild one. I don't know what's with you. You got nothing on me. I
Turn sideways.
Jim Snow album. That's it. Hit the Jim Snow album.
Backpacks, they want tents.
Oh, wow. Torchlight
Anything
Parade.
to-
Episode 138, Blackie Starks from
Yo, yo, yo.
Chillacamino in the house. Booyah. Oh, sorry. You want to do that
So my
one?
son's
And we
up
have
here.
Connor. We have Kimber. We have Jewel. And we have Tweezy. And the... Is he asleep?
Callan. No.
Oh,
He's playing.
Callan.
Callan's asleep. Oh, okay. Oh, he's not asleep. He's awake. He's just being quiet.
He's being good.
He's being good. Here, you want to hit that? Yeah. I got my little...
Kind of
Go ahead. Go
hard.
ahead. Right here.
Wow, that's not even right.
Right here.
I didn't ask my kid that on radio. You want to hit that?
Oh, stop. You're so retarded.
Come on, Dad.
Here.
Do you
Here,
know
here.
me?
Never
you know
mind,
me?
I'll do it right here.
on,
So
Dad.
there you go, right there. No, he wants to do the mouse and the button. Dad. You know what? You haven't done boomstick yet.
No.
I know.
Boomstick.
Oh, look at that side.
Boomstick.
Boomstick. Okay, so we get all the buttons.
That's what she said. You got all the buttons and you still ain't got
You
it.
get all the buttons. He hit all the buttons. That's right.
Dad.
That's your dad right there. So that's the plan. There he goes.
All right.
All right. Do you know this one? I do too. You gonna sing? You can sing. Where's the mic? And you're good. Go ahead and sing. Legacy right here. He's gonna be in space singing his dad's songs.
Today's time and I'm feeling fine. I watch the sun go down the line. You can be blind if you want to. You can be blind if you want to. Saturday's come and I'm on the run. I'm not running away. You can come with if you want to. You can come with if you want to. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. Load it and drop it to the knee quick. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. I think I want a hill with a boom leg. God don't ask when I'm coming home. 6 guns with and I won't be alone. Let's find a place we can call our own. 6 guns up, I'll wait till the smoke is blown. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. Load it and drop it to the knee quick. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. I think I want a hill with a boom click. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. Load it and drop it to the knee quick. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. I think I want a hill with a boom clap. Ooh, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, Systems up and I'm flying high. Lights are out and I'm revolutionized. Systems up and I'm feeling low. Lights shot down and I'm coming home. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. Load it and drop it to the knee quick. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. I think I want a hill with a boom leg. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. Load it and drop it to the knee quick. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. I think I want a hill with a boom leg. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. Meet me on the hill with a boomstick. Jim.
So what song do you never get tired of that you always like to play, just like you played it for the first time? Do you have one of those?
Twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Man, the rain. I played the rain earlier. I played She Needed Him. I love those two songs.
Yes. What was the first? I forgot. What was the first song that you ever wrote? I think I asked you this,
Good
and I don't remember
Lord.
if you remembered.
I don't know if I remember that. It was in a band called Dime Store Indian. No, I take that back. It was a band called Gel. Way back in '93, I think it was.
Was it a good song, or was it?
I mean, I was a
What
shitty
was the-
musician.
What was the story? So what's changed? Oh, but me. I'm kidding.
jokes.
I'm kidding. So what was the story behind it? Was it something that, oh my God, it's my first song, or was it just one of many, and this is what you pulled out and said, hey, we're gonna make this happen, and you threw it together and ta-da.
You know, it's funny. I noticed myself, and I'm sure a lot of artists go through this. I've kind of found a path, and then for whatever reason, I used to write about everything.
Right.
I wrote a song about a movie soundtrack, a story in a movie that I really liked. I
Right.
can't remember it. It was a great song. I used to write about everything. Like I would create these stories, and it was awesome. And then I just kind of all of a sudden dove into this path, and it's kind of where I stuck for a while. And I try to get myself out every once in a while, but I think a lot of artists will get themselves into a creative rut because of their influences, what's going on.
Yeah, but it's how you express yourself, though.
Yeah.
That's your feelings,
It's my-
and that's
it's my therapy.
that's your therapy, and it's got to come out somehow. And if it's 14 songs of heartbreak and sorrow, well, then if that's what you got to get through to get to the other side, then
Right.
it's all good because each one is a story. So that's and there's a lot of musicians that don't talk, but God, their whole life is right out there because they're
They might not talk in public platforms or anything,
They-
but if you really delve into their lyrics,
Yes.
it tells the entire story. You just have to be smart enough to read it.
exactly.
I'll tell you how much it can help somebody. I went through a lot of shit when I was writing the Ozzy James record. If you listen to the lyrics, if you talk to her about it, she everybody saw it. I didn't see it because I was trying to shove all that down, and I didn't want to admit it to myself what I was going through.
We all saw it.
I know. I went back. I was at work one day. It was about a year ago or so, 2 years ago, and I decided I'm going to listen to the Ozzy James record. I haven't heard this in a while. I get to about the fourth or fifth song, and I realized I started crying. I'm working, and there's tears rolling down my cheeks. What the fuck?
Because you relived it all.
And I realized that guy, and I say that guy because I'm not that guy anymore, but that guy was going through some serious shit in his life.
Yeah, but when my shrink, when I went some deep psychotherapy a long time ago, and he told me, he said, write down everything. He said,
Yep.
write a letter to anybody who's ever wronged you. He says, don't mail it, but write it. He says, and when you get to the end of it, put it away and then come back. And he says, write it again, because that's what's gonna. The more you do it, the pain goes away, and
Right.
it doesn't hurt as bad. And because that makes it real, and it's not so all in your head, making yourself crazy, because you got room for other stuff. You can't keep focusing on this one horrible thing or this 3 horrible things or whatever. And I still do it. I go back and read some of the stuff I've written, and it's like, holy shit,
I feel like a lot of times, like for me, it's not even necessarily cohesive sentences.
Right.
It's just like a smattering of words of like, this is how fucking angry I am right now, and these are the words that describe how I feel. And when I get to the bottom of it, it's not even just the anger; it's the hurt or resentment or pain that I felt underneath it. And by the time I'm done, I've got a page full of words, and sometimes they're written on top of each other, but I feel better.
Yep, definitely. For sure.
And then I can throw it away and be done.
Miss Cat, can I use this one?
I'll play one from the Ozzy James record that I remember when I wrote this. Man, I was in a bad
What
way.
is that?
That's his phone.
His phone.
Oh.
I was in a really bad way when I wrote
The
this,
ghost in the closet.
and I guess I was hoping that my ex was putting me through some serious shit, and I was hoping that maybe she would see it. And I need to let up off him. Didn't happen because those people just don't care.
They never will. That's the whole thing. That's what hurts the most. And I can bore you to death with Jill, and I get it. I get it.
This is a song called "All Again." This was one of the tougher ones that I had. emptiness inside. The back of his head stings a lie. Nothing left to carry him. He wanders aimlessly awry. Tattered soul looks worse than he wears upon his skin. And nothing left is broken now from the love he believed in. And all the pain he relives it again. All the time he's humbling with him. All the love won't be back again. All the soul won't be back again. Muttering gibberish, only knows the first spirit forth. Hands can be idle, they're always circling back and forth. Stumbling, his legs are weak, the energy used to free his mind. All the words said to him, emptiness inside. All the pain relives it again. All the doubt, all the real with hell. Left in is all the skin, all the love won't be back again.
Yeah.
Yes. Feel better?
That was good.
That was
That
good.
was real good.
Okay,
The
one
whole
more.
record's like that.
One more, Blackie, then we gotta
Alright.
get out of here. So, make it a good one.
Yep.
Or make it a bad one, I don't care. Have you ever played a bad one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Played a few of
Really?
those.
What?
It doesn't happen very often.
So the last show that I missed because I had to work like I always freaking do, when you guys played and I missed it in Illinois, like what was your favorite song that you played that night?
Oh, this
That was
one-
it. Was that at Patty McDee's?
Yes. So this song right here is probably one of my absolute favorites. I love the groove, but it was basically it was the whole thing that slapped me in the face about everything that I was going through. Because it's called The Real Me, and the question is, why are you trying to change me from who you met me as? This is who I was when you met me. This is who you told me you fell in love with,
Right.
and all of a sudden now you don't want that person to exist.
Right.
So it's you're going through this own personal identity crisis because you love this person, you want to be there for him, but at the same time you have to give up. They're telling you to shut yourself down, completely erase that person.
Go ahead.
So
Erase the person that you were.
that's what this is about.
Yeah. Wow.
Awesome.
So this is a robot. So it can be like, so it can shoot, and when it's on ground, so it can go on, like on land, and it shoots like energy blasts.
You're trying so hard to save me from myself.
And then it can go. So this is what it looks like on land, right?
This picture of
Goes in the
you,
water.
you're down upon your shell.
And then the legs basically turn to the head. This is
Never
how it
thinking
moves.
what you're thinking might be seeing the real me.
Do it.
What you're asking of me, who are you trying to make me? When did you tell so tight.
Land.
Shape what you desire.
It can. Like,
I'm choking,
whenever
I can't
they
breathe,
get,
and I
like,
grow
close
so
to the mountain,
tired.
It can jump up and spin and does a multi.
Never thinking, what you thinking, might be seeing the real me. What you're asking of me, you're trying to make me.
They can, like,
When did you tire of the real me?
It jumps.
Would you like me to be? When did you tire of the real me?
All the way back.
I am faceless in your eyes. I am faceless in your eyes. You're trying to make me. You're tired of the real me. Who would you like me to be? When did you tire of the real me?
And it's also made
I am faceless in your eyes. I am faceless in your eyes.
stronger than bedrock. Super strong because it's alien tech.
Right.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! Episode 138. Blackie Starks in the house. And the whole fam damly's here.
Dude, Bert Kreischer traveled with his family too. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
That was
God,
awesome.
that guy was funny, man.
That was awesome.
Best show, comedy show from all time.
So are you doing any solo gigs or anything like
Haven't
that?
in a little while. I do have some stuff on the calendar. I need to. Actually, wonder.
Anything coming up?
We do have something coming up in
I
July.
mean, if you need some solo stuff, I can hook you up.
I need some solo stuff. Actually,
I
do
can
Need.
hook you up.
Let's do this.
Check your attitude at the door.
My name is Axel. Black. Blaxel Rose.
Blaxel Roar. Jeez. Yeah, your band.
My ex actually tried to compare me to him once, trying to dig on me on the internet. I was like, the guy's a millionaire. He writes great songs. Okay, cool. I'll take it.
You're an idiot.
I know.
When's your next show? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you at?
I'm looking.
Besides the forklift biz.
Hey, Toyota, baby.
Whatever.
Toyota forklift.
Looks like not there. Oh shit, coming up now.
August.
We get the cover show.
August 19th.
We got a cover show in July. I have a '90s cover band called Dr. Martin's Flannel Brigade.
Yeah.
15.
And that's going to be July 15th at Patrick's Bar and Grill. It's a big motorcycle event.
Very cool.
And
So
then
wait. I heard motorcycle.
Patrick's and Planet Granite.
July 15th.
I'm looking for a booking agent, by the way, because I just have such
July
a hard time
15th
keeping up with
at the
stuff.
what pageant?
August 12th, going to be it's again the 90s cover band.
Because I got
That
Michael
was
for
at
back
Patty
there Sunday.
D's, and then I guess we're going to be back here on the 19th with
Yep.
Chillacamino. I can
Yep.
talk to Mike and get all that straightened out.
Good.
And then,
That's it so far.
nope. We're going to be out in Kansas doing an annual Long Fest out there, which is really kick-ass. If anybody wants to go camping, I'll talk to Doug. Y'all can come out. Doug, my buddy Doug used to be a professional two-stroke GP racer.
Very cool.
He still has the bike in the garage. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Give me the keys. I got it.
Honey, what else do I have? I know I got some other stuff on the calendar. I just have to update it. Some stuff's not showing up. But yeah, I need a
Cool
booking
beans.
agent. I don't have time.
I'm going in a tunnel. Here.
Quarter pound
I'm
chicken.
going in a tunnel. Episode 138, Stl Roar, mycitymymusic.com. Soldier by Blood, Overtime Studio. We will see you next week.